Our final candidate tonight, I'm going to bring up, as everyone knows, State Central Committee is a topic that comes up on our stage on a regular basis. There's obviously a lot of topics that have come up in our party's history and what's been happening recently and the governance of our party. So the candidate that we'll be hearing from next is Doris Peters, who's running in our district, District 24, for State Central Committee. Doris Peters. Thank you, Doris.
Thank you, Shannon. Thank you all for waiting. I know everyone's been here a long time. My name's Doris Peters, and I have served on the State Central Committee because I live in Parma. Parma was always with West Park, Cleveland, and Lakewood. And then with redistricting 2 years ago, they put Parma with Strongsville, North Royalton, Broadview Heights, Berea, Middleburg Heights, North Olmsted. So I'm running to represent you on the State Central Committee, and the committee only meets 4 times a year in Columbus, and this is a volunteer position. A little bit about myself. I grew up in Lorain, Ohio. My dad was a steel worker and was very happy to vote for John Kennedy for president. But that all changed in 1973. With Roe versus Wade, my dad said, "Oh no, we're voting Republican, we're voting pro-life." So I've been voting Republican. I raised my children in West Park after my first husband passed away. The Lord took care of us, but I never went to any meetings, but I voted all the time. Well, when my children got to high school, I started going to our local West Park Republican meetings, and I became one of the co-leaders of it. We had candidates, we knocked on doors, we raised money for our Republican candidates. I meet this young man, I get married again, moved to Parma, and I'm now president of the Parma Republicans. And I'm happy to say that we have a Republican councilman, Kevin Kuzmal's my city councilman. We elected another conservative on the Parma School Board, so we have 3 conservatives, the majority, on the Parma School Board. And you might not know it, but Parma is the biggest city in the whole state of Ohio that voted for President Trump. We are working hard in Parma. Unfortunately, my opponent lives in North Royalton, and unfortunately, their city council, Republican city council people lost in this past election. They all lost. Their conservatives on the North Royalton school board, they all lost. So we have to help the Republicans in North Royalton, because obviously my opponent didn't work hard enough in North Royalton. My card says lower taxes. I'm in favor of lower taxes. I have turned in hundreds of property tax petitions. This effort is excellent. We have to speak up. We cannot have people lose their homes because they can't pay the higher property taxes. My card says security. I'm a member of the NRA. I support the Second Amendment. Do you? I want to defend my family. My card also says I'm pro-life, but I'm a person of action. I volunteer at a local crisis pregnancy center. I just don't say I'm pro-life. We help young mothers and with their babies, okay? So I'm a person of action. Lower taxes, our Second Amendment rights, and I'm pro-life. So please vote for me on May 5th. Thank you very much.
Doris, I'm going to ask you the same question I asked your competitor last week, and that is that the State Central Committee in May made a sort of an unprecedented decision to endorse in the primary for governor. I'm interested in your opinion as a future member of the State Central Committee. What is your opinion, and what is your decision factor on endorsements in primaries?
I listen to my constituents. The majority of my constituents are not in favor of the Ohio Republican Party endorsing in primaries. They want to make the choice. The voters want to make the choice in the primary elections. So I would have voted not to endorse for governor at all and let the voters make the choice.
Great, thank you. Everyone,
Thank you
Doris
all.
Peters running for State Central Committee. Thank you.